Hey everyone, and welcome back to English with Confidence. I'm Gabby.
And I'm Pedro. Today, we're talking about a really useful English phrase that you've probably heard before, but might not be totally sure how to use.
That's right. We're diving into the phrase, the ball is in your court. Pedro, when I first heard this phrase as an English learner, I was so confused.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, it's one of those phrases that sounds really weird if you translate it literally.
Exactly. Like, what ball? What court? Am I supposed to be playing tennis or something?
Right, so let's break this down. The phrase, the ball is in your court, means that it's your turn to take action or make a decision. You're the one who needs to do something next.
Yeah, it's like saying, it's up to you now, or the next move is yours.
Perfect! And it actually does come from tennis. In tennis, when the ball is in your court, it's your responsibility to hit it back. You can't just stand there and do nothing.
Oh, that makes so much sense. So we took this sports concept and applied it to everyday situations where someone needs to take action.
Exactly. Let me give you a common example. Imagine you're job hunting and you have a great interview with a company. At the end, they say, "We'll be in touch soon." A week goes by and you haven't heard anything. Your friend might say, "Well, the ball is in their court now. You've done everything you can, so now you just have to wait for them to respond."
Right, exactly. In this case, the company has to make the next move, not you.
Perfect, but let's flip it around. What if the company calls you back and offers you the job, but they want an answer by Friday?
Oh, then the ball is in your court. You're the one who has to decide whether to accept the offer or not.
Bingo! See how the ball keeps moving back and forth between different people, depending on who needs to take action.
Yeah, it's like a conversation where each person takes turns being responsible for the next step. This phrase is super useful in business situations, too.
Absolutely. Like, imagine you're negotiating a contract with a client. You send them your proposal, and then you might say, "I've sent you all the details. The ball is in your court now."
Right. You're politely telling them that they need to review it and get back to you.
Exactly. It's a nice way to put the responsibility on them without being pushy about it. You're basically saying, "I've done my part, now it's your turn."
And you can use it in personal relationships too. Like if you've been trying to plan a weekend trip with your friends and you've suggested 3 different destinations.
Yeah, you might say, "Okay, guys, I've given you some options. The ball is in your court. Just let me know what you decide."
Perfect example. Now let's talk about the tone here. This phrase is usually pretty neutral, right? It's not aggressive or demanding.
That's a great point, Gabby. Yeah, it's actually quite diplomatic. You're not saying, "Hurry up and decide." You're just clarifying whose turn it is to act.
Right, although depending on your tone of voice, you could make it sound a little impatient, like if someone has been avoiding making a decision for weeks.
"Look, I've given you all the information you need. The ball is in your court now."
Exactly. But most of the time, it's just a clear, friendly way to indicate whose responsibility it is to take the next step.
Let's practice with a few more scenarios. Gabby, imagine I'm your doctor and I've just explained a treatment option to you. I might say,
I've explained the procedure and the risks. The ball is in your court. Take some time to think about it and let me know what you'd like to do.
Perfect. Here's another one. You're a teacher, and you've been trying to help a student who's struggling with math. You've offered extra tutoring sessions, but they haven't shown up.
I might say, I've offered to help you every Tuesday after school, but you haven't come. The ball is in your court. If you want to improve your grades, you need to show up.
"Excellent. You're making it clear that you've done your part as the teacher, and now it's up to the student to take action."
Right. Now, here's a question for our listeners to think about. Can you think of a situation in your own life where you might use this phrase? Maybe at work, with family, or with friends?
That's great practice. And remember, you don't always have to say the exact phrase, the ball is in your court. You could also say things like, it's up to you now, or the next move is yours.
Exactly. But the ball is in your court is such a common phrase that native speakers use it all the time, so it's definitely worth learning.
One more tip. You'll often hear this phrase in email communication too, like at the end of an email, where you've provided information and you're waiting for a response.
Yes, I've attached the documents you requested. The ball is in your court. Looking forward to hearing from you soon.
Perfect example of professional communication right there.
I love this topic. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about some common mistakes that English learners make with this phrase. Pedro, what's the biggest mistake you've noticed?
It comes from tennis. It's usually neutral in tone, and it's a polite way to clarify whose responsibility it is to do something next. Oh, great question. I think the biggest mistake is using it when you're actually the one who should take action. For example, I've heard students say, I sent my resume so the ball is in my court to follow up, but that's backwards.
So here's your challenge. Try to use this phrase at least once this week in a real conversation or email. Practice makes perfect. Exactly. If you sent your resume, then the ball is in their court, the employer's court. They're the ones who need to respond. It's confusing because you're thinking about what you need to do, but the phrase describes who has the responsibility right now.
And remember, learning English is a journey. Every new phrase you master brings you one step closer to confidence. Another mistake is confusing this phrase with similar expressions. Sometimes people mix up the ball is in your court with drop the ball, which means to make a mistake or fail to do something you were supposed to do.
Thanks for listening to English with Confidence. I'm Gabby. Right, those are completely different meanings. While we're on the topic, there are some other phrases that have a similar meaning to the ball is in your court, like it's your call or it's your move.
And I'm Pedro. We'll see you next time. And remember, when it comes to practicing English, the ball is in your court. Yes, it's your call is especially common. You might say, we can either go to the beach or the mountains this weekend. It's your call. This means you're letting the other person decide.
And it's your move comes from chess or other board games, so we have all these game metaphors in English. Let's practice some more scenarios with the ball is in your court. Pedro, give me a dating scenario.
Ooh, good one. Okay, imagine you've been on a few dates with someone and you're really interested in getting serious. You've expressed your feelings, and now you're waiting to see how they respond. Your friend might say, well, you've been honest about your feelings. The ball is in their court now.
Perfect. It means you've done what you can do, and now it's up to them to decide if they want to move forward with the relationship. What about a family situation?
Sure. Let's say you've been planning your parents' anniversary party. You've sent them 3 different venue options and asked them to choose. You might tell your sibling, I've given mom and dad all the information they need about the venues. The ball is in their court. Once they decide, we can move forward with the booking.
Great example. Now let's talk about when not to use this phrase. You want to be careful not to use it in situations where someone doesn't actually have a choice or where you're putting unfair pressure on them.
Exactly. For example, if someone is dealing with a serious illness and needs expensive treatment, it would be inappropriate to say the ball is in your court about whether they get treatment. That's not really a fair choice situation.
Right. The phrase works best in situations where someone genuinely has options and the power to choose. It's about fair decision-making scenarios, not difficult circumstances where someone might not have real alternatives.
Here's something interesting. This phrase is primarily used in American English. In British English, you might hear the ball's in your court, But they also have other expressions like it's over to you or it's in your hands now.
That's a great point. And in business English around the world, the ball is in your court has become quite universal because of American business influence. Now, let's give our listeners some practical homework.
Great idea. Here's your assignment. For the next week, pay attention to conversations around you, at work, with friends, in movies or TV shows. See if you can spot when someone uses "the ball is in your court" or a similar phrase.
And when you hear it, ask yourself, what action or decision is being discussed? Who has the power to make the next move? This will help you understand the phrase in context and use it more naturally yourself.
And don't forget to practice using it yourself. Start with low-stakes situations, maybe when you're planning something with friends or family. The more you use it, the more natural it will become.
Before we finish, let's do a quick review. The ball is in your court means it's your turn to take action or make a decision. It comes from tennis, it's usually polite and diplomatic, and you use it when you've done your part and someone else needs to respond or decide.
Remember, using phrases like this correctly shows that you understand English beyond just basic vocabulary and grammar. It demonstrates cultural knowledge and makes you sound more like a native speaker, so don't be afraid to try it out.